Much. Now I invite Bhumi Thapar from semester 9.
स्टार्ट कर रहा हूँ। कुछ ऐसे पे होगा ना, ये विजिबल होगा। जूम कर दो, बड़ा कर दो। Respected panelists and educators, please excuse me for my sore throat today. I'm dealing with it from past 3 days. So beginning with my 5 minutes thoughtful generative journey with you. Legal and ethical issues in the use of generative AI. We stand at a pivotal moment in the history of artificial intelligence, a moment defined not just by how well machines can understand the world, but by their burgeoning ability to reimagine and recreate it. We are here today to discuss generative AI, a field that is far more than an incremental update. It is a fundamental paradigm shift in computing. Now think of generative AI, Gen AI, as a super talented student who has read millions of books, seen millions of paintings, and listened to millions of songs. Now this student can create new things based on everything that they learned. Now I will name it as Bhumi 2.0. These are questions about who owns what and who gets blamed when things go wrong, the legal issues. Copyright. The issue number 1, when this AI student, Bhumi 2.0 bot, learned from copyrighted material, the recipe books of artists and writers without any permission or payment, is that okay? The artists who made the original books are suing, saying the AI companies stole their work to train the AI models. Now, when the AI student creates a new song or picture, who owns the new creation? The person who wrote the prompt or the company that built the AI model? Right now, the law mostly states that AI itself cannot be an owner. Point number 2, the secret whisper problem, the privacy problem. The issue is that people sometimes type private information like a company's secret strategy or a client's health details into the AI model. That secret information might accidentally be used by the AI and later even spit out to another user, which is a major violation of privacy laws and trust. Point number 3, the blame game. What about the liability? The issue is that if the AI student writes a legal document and it contains a complete lie called a hallucination that causes a lot of trouble, then who gets sued for this? The problem is it that AI company, the person who typed the prompt, or the lawyer who used the AI output without checking it? The answer is often unclear. I would like to move to the next page, the next slide, consisting about the facts. The very first fact, there are at least right now 30 major copyright lawsuits currently filed against generative AI companies as of late 2024 involving text, code, and image models. The case examples, New York Times versus the OpenAI and Microsoft. The New York Times is suing, claiming its copyrighted articles were used unlawfully to train AI models. Getty Images versus Stability AI. Getty is currently suing the creator of the Stable Diffusion model, alleging the use of over 12 million copyrighted photographs from its library without any authorization. I would like to move to the point number 2 of legal issues, lack of copyright for AI generated output. The US Copyright Office has consistently maintained that copyrighted works must be created by human beings. If there is no human intervention, that will not lead to copyright. This means that content created purely by a Gen AI model without sufficient human creative input generally cannot be copyrighted. The law requires human authorship, and this creates uncertainty about who legally owns the content. I would like to move to the next slide, the ethical issues. There are 3 major ethical issues. Number 1, the mirror problem or the bias. If that AI student bought Bhumi 2.0, learned from the real world, and the real world has biases, unfair ideas about gender, race, etc. If the AI is trained mainly on data about males and male doctors and female nurses, it might unfairly suggest a woman is a nurse even if she is the top doctor of the area. The AI is simply reflecting the bias it saw in its training data, and that can lead to real-world discrimination. Point number 2, the fake news factory, the misinformation. The issue is, if bot Bhumi 2.0, a student, is so good at creating realistic videos, images and text that it's hard to tell what's real anymore about the deepfakes. People can use this power to create very convincing fake news. Point number 3, the why problem, the transparency. If that AI student is so complex that even the builders don't always know exactly why it made a certain decision. I would like to move to the next fact, the ethical issues, the facts and research behind this. Basically, if we are present in a research symposium, we need to put out our research and scholarly works, not our opinions. Thus, hence, I am here with 10 major facts. The very first fact of algorithmic bias and discrimination. Gender and age bias. Studies, including one from the Stanford, have shown that large language models or LLMs and image generators perpetuate stereotypes. When creating resumes for hypothetical candidates, LLMs often portray women as younger and less experienced than men. But why? Misinformation and deepfakes. The ease and quality of generative AI created deepfakes pose a significant risk to public trust and political stability. Research consistently highlights the risk of manipulation and deception, requiring new mechanisms to detect and mitigate the spread of deceptive content. Now, there are major 10 points. The very first point, training data scraping is a major legal battleground. Generative AI models. Point number 2, the US Copyright Office and currently which denies authorship to AI. Point number 3, the legal defense of fair use is central to infringement claims. Point number 4, the outputs closely resembling source material can lead to direct infringement claims. Point number 5, licensing and opt-out mechanisms are proposed regulatory solutions. Point number 6, the generative AI models are prone to perpetuating societal biases. Point number 7, LLMs exhibit hallucinations posing a significant misinformation risk. Point number 8, the lack of transparency. Point number 9, corporate policies often prohibit using sensitive data in public AI models. And point number 10, data protection and privacy laws apply to prompt and output data. Now, one Indian case law, Arijit Singh versus the Audible Ventures LLP in 2024. Popular playback singer sued a company for using AI tools to synthesize artificial recordings of his voice and using his likeness without authorization. Now, there are 3 major points which talk about future regulations. The very first, about the European Union's AI Act. India must opt for such an act. Point number 2, human oversight over ethical and legal mandates of AI. And point number 3, trade secret risks. I would like to summarize my generative AI presentation. The current era of Gen AI is defined by a high-stake tension between unprecedented innovation and deep-seated legal ethical risk. Litigation is currently acting as slow, expensive regulatory mechanism for setting copyright disputes, while risk-based legislation attempts to establish proactive guardrails. In summary, current research confirms that legal and ethical system is struggling to define the lines of ownership and liability, while ethical studies prove that generative AI is a powerful mirror amplifying the biases and prejudices present in its trading data. Thank you so much.